Well, hi, yeah, my name's Ted Harris. I wanted to go to massage school about 12 years ago, and a friend of mine said, well, you should learn how to manage energy. So he pointed me towards the Berkeley Psychic Institute, which teaches you how to do that. That's how my journey began. Before I'd been involved in Qigong and Reiki, but going to BPI was a very different slant on things. So that's kind of where it took off for me. I was working as a personal trainer at the time and still do a little bit of that. So one of the things that they teach you is components of the energy anatomy. Now, there's lots of different parts to that. There's empty channels through our bodies that are conduits for energy to run. There's channels through the legs, channels through the arms, channels through the center of the body, both going up in the front and down in the back. And these aren't the meridian systems. That's a different paradigm, but that's very valid too. Then there's all the chakras. There's hundreds of chakras in the body, but we learned about the 7 basic ones. The first chakra being in the base of the spine, the coccyx area. It's the root chakra, has to do with, all the information for survival for the body, how to keep it safe, what information you need for your job, for food, for clothing, for housing, from all our lives. It's all stored in the root chakra. Now, there's little instances of that stored throughout the other chakras, but that's the primary job of the root chakra. The second chakra has to do with emotions like friendships, sexuality, sensuality, and emotions. So there's a lot going on in the second chakra. That's 2 inches below the navel. The classic color for that is orange. But the way I was taught to read is you read whatever color you see showing up in the moment, and then read why it's showing up at that color. You give the information to the readee, and then you can start to shift the energy. But the root chakra classically is red. Again, taught, just read it the way it's appearing to you in this present time. Also read the direction it's spinning in. It's quote unquote supposed to spin clockwise as you look at it from the front. It doesn't always, and there can be reasons for that and blocks to that. So that's, on an individual basis, of course. The third chakra is in the solar plexus. That has to do with ego, willpower, and energy distribution throughout the body. The third chakra has a lot of competition energy in it. It's one of the bottom 3 chakras, which has to do with the body. And classically, I think it's yellow. There's also a part of that chakra which runs a silver cord out in front of you to your astral body, which is the part of your body that goes up into the universe at night while you're sleeping and has experiences in the cosmos, travels to other planets, interacts with different races that are out there, and brings all this information back to you, which gets stored in your subconscious. How much of that you actually have access to, it depends on you. It depends on the kind of meditation that you do and your belief system that you're actually conscious with at the time. All right, so then the 4th chakra is classically green. That has to do with your heart space, your affinity space, your affinity for yourself, your affinity with your understanding of the divine, and your affinity for other people. That's kind of like the plutonic love type of chakra in energy. The throat chakra has to do with creativity and communication, and that, of course, sits in your throat. Classically, I think that's light blue. And then the 6th chakra, which is also the third eye, that's a deep blue, that's indigo blue. That has to do with clairvoyance and your ability to see things that aren't in the physical. The top chakra, the crown chakra, is the 7th chakra. That has to do with wisdom and your ability to sit still and receive information and messages both from your spirit and from other spirits. So Memories are formed from all these chakras taking snapshots continuously throughout the day and bringing all that information up into your brain for your memory making machine. And this, of course, will take a memory with all different flavors of emotions associated with it and stores it in your energy field. Okay, then your Akashic record keeper keeps track of all this stuff and stores it in a big repository, both behind your head and up in the Akashic records, which kind of spans multiple lifetimes. Okay, so that's a lot of interesting information, but how does it pertain to you? Like I said, these chakras really bring in all this information about your life throughout the day and then stores it in your memory making machine in your brain, and your Akashic record keeper stores it. Now, if you get triggered, you have a negative experience throughout your day, and you associate it with this kind of input, as you go through your life, if you hit that kind of scenario again, you have built in a response through programming with that memory in your system to respond to it in a certain way. There's ways that I can de-energize that, ways that we're taught to de-energize that programming so you don't have the same response to that thing again. If you're in a situation where you have to, then we leave that programming alone, let it run its course. If you've taken yourself and moved out of that type of life situation, then it's safe to deprogram that. And I always ask your spirit for that information. Like, is it safe to de-energize that? Is it safe to de-energize the program? So it's kind of like a bad habit. It's like it could be a PTSD response to a set of situations that you run into. So that's kind of my slant on it. I don't know if you heard the beginning talk, but a lot of us live with trauma. I had a lot of trauma growing up. I was in the military. I had trauma from that, and then trauma from life after that. So I've just become very aware of the effects that trauma has in our space. And as we try to manifest bigger, better things for our life, those instances of trauma can prevent us from actually being able to receive it in a harmonious way. Our spirit may say, hey, what about all this trauma you've accumulated? I need you to get rid of that. But if you don't know how, it's going to be hard to live in harmony with that higher vibrational situation you're trying to call into your life. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Clear as mud. All right. So there's also there's different aspects to the energy. As I guide you through a meditation, I'll talk about each one. Corresponding with all the chakras is a different layer to your aura. We're going to go through 7 layers of your aura and clean them all out. The first layer is corresponding to your first chakra. As your first chakra spins, it sends out this information and energy into that first layer of your aura that's appropriate to what you're going through in your life right now. So, and then the second layer for the second chakra and on up. All right, so let's see. There's I'll give you a couple of healing experiences that I had recently, just to give you an idea for the power of this work. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have any water, so my lips may get a little chapped. I'll do my best.
I can get you some water. There's some water outside.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Hi. So, yeah, the layers of the aura, energy body. So yeah, there's the 7 layers of the aura corresponding to each of the chakras. And then there's a grounding cord, which keeps us tethered to the planet. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so yeah, 7 layers of the aura. There's a grounding cord often things that we're trying to release out of our space get clogged up in the grounding cord, and it doesn't always get the oomph it needs to release it down into the planet. Down in the center of the planet is an energy recycling ability. This ability breaks up all the energy that was stagnant in our place, turns it back into gold, and sends it back to a specific place in the universe so that it can be redistributed or sent back to the original person or people that sent the energy into your space. So you're doing people a favor by sending them back their energy in gold form. Okay. So we all have the ability to plug into Source, Creator, whatever you want to call it, it's fine, and receive guidance and love and energy from that source. That is something that as you clear your upper chakras, I'm talking about the 12th chakra that sits at the edge of the universe, plugs partially into our existence here and partially into Source. Runs it down through your 11th chakra, which has a lot of healing abilities for yourself. Down to the 10th, where we all start to differentiate into our different experiences as different souls, duality. And then down to the 9th, which has another set of properties. Down through the 8th, which has a lot of information about why we've incarnated here in this life. And then down into our crown, where the 7th is, where our wisdom is. 6th, on down through all the chakras. Okay. I'm also, as I go through the meditation, I'm going to be referring to the sciatic channels. Sciatic channels run in the backs of your legs. They tend to be a repository for guilt and shame in your space. So we're going to flush those out, unless you're Catholic and you want to hold on to them. All right. Let's see. As I was going to the school, I did programs at various schools in the Bay Area. As I was going through these schools, I also worked with a chi healer in Castro Valley, who was a Tai Chi master, and he took silver medal in China one year. So he was very good at it. You know, all the things you see in the Kung Fu movies he could do, throw people across a room, you know, all those kinds of stuff, and then heal them. He could heal a bone, you know, in a couple sessions. I worked with him on some of the things I was working on at the time. I mentored under him. I learned how to channel that kind of chi out of my hands. So that's something else that I do. But that's more of a body level healing. I've cured 3 people's sciatica just with doing a hands-off psychic healing. It took a couple minutes just pulling the energy that was clogging their stuff from running correctly out of their space. So this stuff is real. It has profound effects on your experience here. And I'm reminded every time I do serious energy work on myself how profound it is. And I'll give you an example. About a week ago, an old client of mine from Phoenix called me up, said, Ted, my brother is having a psychotic break. He's driving from North Dakota to Maryland to do something to my parents. I don't know what. He's had domestic abuse charges filed against him in the past with his various partners, and drugs and alcohol have been part of the problem. Okay, so that's kind of a negative thing. Leave that aside for a minute. Just kind of. So what I did was I honed in on him, his spirit. I saw probably 12 or 15 beings in his space. They looked pretty demonic to me. So I just pulled them out. I got in touch with spirit to ask what energy would be appropriate to run through his space to give him a sense of autonomy between himself and all that energy that he's been running and coming into contact with through his various dealings. After I was done with I did some other stuff, but after I was done with the healing, he pulled over, called his sister, told her that he feels like these demonic voices that have been in his head telling him to do all these things for so long, stopped, we're gone. Then he told her he loved her, continued on his journey, told his parents he loved them, hugs, reunion, good vibes all around, and then went back home. So, yeah, it's very interesting when you get it, and I don't want to frighten anybody, but, you know, I'm just saying it's very profound, the effect that running your own energy has through your space, clearing out stuff. And nobody here is possessed demonically, I can tell, don't worry. Anyway, okay. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Two questions.
Sure.
How should we know that which chakra is being blocked? Can we use the energy of another chakra?
Yeah, there's various methods for removing stuck energy out of chakras. If you have one that works, use it. You know, just keep using it. Yeah. It's kind of a simple practice, but yeah.
Another question, we're talking about the chakras, 11 chakras. I always thought that you just have 7 chakras.
Yeah.
How should we access?
Well, you can probably access this video, and you can just, use the meditation that I'm going to teach you, and then you can just use that to clean out your chakras. Okay. Any other questions? All right. You guys are awesome. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is I want you to raise your hands above your head. And this is the edge of your aura on top. And I want you to emit this light blue energy. And you're going to coat the outside of your aura with this energy. And the job of this energy is to keep your answers and information in your space and to keep others' energy out of your space. So you can, if you're going to high five your neighbor as we go, you might want to stagger your hands a little bit. So we're going to bring these palms down and continue to emit this light blue energy out of your palms. And you're going to coat, that's right, you're going to coat the outside of your aura with this light blue energy. And you're going to let this light blue energy secure the outsides of your aura. And it goes 3 feet below you as well. And that's the boundaries of your aura. You can bring it back up. I want you to face your hands towards the sky. And I want you to call in a big gold sun. This gold sun has all the energy that you left on the astral plane last night. So continue to let it call in and then slowly lower it down into your space. You're filling in your aura and your energy body with this golden light. It's feeling very strong. It's rejuvenating you, giving you energy as you go. Beautiful. All right. Now, we're going to imagine creating a grounding cord that attaches to our root chakra, and then it goes down into the planet. All right. So these grounding cords are hollow in the middle, but they can be any symbol you want. They can be amusing. Spirit loves enthusiasm. So a grounding cord can be a Twinkie, a Slinky, a tree, a waterfall, a cave. It can be anything that jazzes you. The important part is to feel enthused. All right, so the job of this grounding cord is to whisk away all the old energy out of your aura that you're releasing right now. And it's going to go down to the center of the planet where it gets recycled and sent back to the original owners. Okay? So go ahead. So that's a grounding cord. I'm going to back up for a minute. Let's start with the center of head. So I want you to tap both sides of your head with the middle finger. And I want you to draw a gold cord between those two lines. And then take it around to the front and back of your forehead, front and back of your third eye, your sixth chakra, and draw another gold cord. And where they intersect is your pineal gland. You can take your hands away, and in that spot is a little gold ball of light. On an inhale, I want you to expand it out the size of a jawbreaker, and then the size of a ping pong ball, then the size of a tennis ball, and then the size of a softball, and then the size of the inside of your head is pushing all this old energy out, and then go outside your head 2 inches in all directions. You now have a gold ball around you in all directions. This is your center of head space. This is the space that you can go to throughout your day when you're feeling triggered or agitated. It's a sanctuary space just for you. And you can decorate it any way you want. You put a chandelier in there, put a piano in there, put a hot tub in there, put a nice big comfy chair. You can put a little fireplace in there, paintings, plants, whatever brings you into a space of calm is what you want to put in there. And that is your center of head space. All right. So start to imagine that you're staying in your center of head space, 4 feet out in front of you. You start to create a movie screen. Imagine that movie screen 4 feet out in front of you, and you're going to let 2 gauges appear on the upper right-hand corner of your movie screen. So go ahead and imagine 2 gauges appear up there. On one side is unconscious healing energy. On the other side is conscious healing energy. I want you to reach up there with your psychic hand and turn it all the way onto conscious healing energy. And the gauge right next to that is healing others versus healing yourself. I want you to turn that all the way onto healing yourself, recalling your healing energy back into your space. On the bottom right-hand side, 2 more gauges appear. One is for your mind, and one is for your analyzer. I want you to turn those both down as far as they will go. This is a way of keeping down mind chatter. Just turn down that mind, turn down that analyzer, and on the left-hand side near the bottom, you're going to see 2 more gauges appear. One is for your sympathetic nervous system. Turn that down as far as it'll go. Right next to that is your parasympathetic nervous system. That's as high up as it'll go. All right. Now imagine a steady stream of gold energy coming down from the edge of the atmosphere into your 12th chakra. It's filling in your 12th chakra. It's half in and half out of this universe. It's filling it in, it's replenishing it. It just works automatically. You don't have to know all the details. Imagine that gold energy coming down 2 gold streams to the top of your 11th chakra. And let it go in and fill in that 11th chakra. And clean it. And now let that gold energy slide down, further down into the top of that 10th chakra. Let it fill in that 10th. And it's filling it in and cleaning it, reclaiming your energy for yourself. And let it slide down those 2 channels down the top of your 9th. And it cleans out your 9th, making you feel whole and grounded and complete. And your ability as a healer appears in the word healer on the outside of your 9th. Let it clean off that energy on that word healer. Another word is teacher. You have the ability to teach. Let it clean off that energy. And then the word creator. It talks about your ability to manifest from the spiritual and the physical. Go ahead and clean off everybody else's energy off of the word creator, because you get to decide what you want to create. You're not going to let other people's energies dictate what you want to create. So go ahead and clean off that wood creator. And then let it come down into the top of your seventh, top of your crown. And let it start to spin and fill up that energy. And go down the back of your head, down to the back of your sixth. Fill that up. Slide down to the back of your neck, the back of your fifth, sitting at your communication. Fill that up. And then let it go down to the back of your fourth, between your shoulder blades. Let it fill that up. And then let it go down to the back of your third. Fill that up. Down in the back of your second, the small of your back. Let it fill that up. And then let it run down to your back of your coccyx, your tailbone. Let it fill up that root chakra. And let the excess slide down the grounding cord, taking all the old stagnant energy with it. And imagine some really awesome earth energy down near the center of the planet start to come up. It's going to come up through the crystal beds, through the oil beds, the underground aquifers, all the stuff that's down in the earth. It's going to come up through, and then it's going to find its way into your feet chakras. Feet chakras are a quarter in diameter, and they're sitting behind the balls of your feet. They open up and greet this new earth energy that's coming up into them. It's healing those feet chakras, bringing them into present time, getting rid of everybody else's energy that you've walked on today, so you can walk your own path and not be influenced by them. Let that energy come into your foot, and then into your ankles, into your shins, and up those hollow tubes in those shin bones for your leg channels. Comes up, and it goes through your knees, heals your knees as it goes, and then slides up into your thighs. And then into your pelvis, start to fill up your entire pelvis, and it finds the front of your root chakra, and it starts to go into your root chakra. It's funnel shaped. And it goes out the back of that root chakra. It goes down the grounding cord. Now you're going to take some of that cosmic energy that you were running earlier. You're going to say hello to it running again. And you're going to let it wrap around to the front of your coccyx, the front of your root chakra. And you're going to mix it so that it's 80% cosmic energy, 20% earth energy. You're going to bring it up to the front of your second chakra, 2 inches below your navel. You're going to let it spin in that chakra, cleaning it out, giving it a hello, giving it some love. And let that energy come on up into the front of your third chakra. And say hello to the energy in there. Clean it, revitalize it. And then let it come on up into your heart space, your fourth chakra. Bring the warmth with it. And let it enter that heart space. Let it continue on up into your throat chakra. Let that energy go down your left arm and out your palm. Let still more of that same energy go down your right arm and out your right palm. And then let more of that energy come up into your third eye, your sixth chakra, cleaning it out, spewing out all the old stuff that says you can't see. It can appear like fireworks or a volcano, shooting out the old energy that's no longer serving you. And then let that energy come up through the top of your head, cleaning out that crown chakra, seventh, the wisdom. Spewing out like a volcano that old energy and filling it in with this new cosmic earth energy blend. And it starts to spill out around you in all directions. Filling in the first layer of your aura, spilling down past your shoulders and past your torso, down past your waist and your legs, and down past your arms, your feet, and into your grounding cord. This continual cycle of this energy running. Now let it fountain up above your head, out of your second chakra, your second aura, layer of your aura, spilling out around you in all directions. Down past your right shoulder, behind your back, down your left shoulder and in front of you. And it's filling in the second layer of your aura with this new energy, going down past your chest, out your arms and hands, down your waist, down your pelvis, down your legs, and down into your grounding cord. And let more of that energy fountain up above you in the top, in your third layer of your aura, going out the top, in front of you, to the right, behind you, to the left, filling in that layer, going down past your shoulders, going down past your chest, down past your waist, down past your hips, down past your legs, your calves, your feet, and into the grounding cord. Now bring your attention back up above your head. You're filling in your fourth layer of your aura, shooting out the top of your head, up down your right side, behind you, your left, in front, cleaning out that layer, down past your chest and your hips and your pelvis, your knees, your ankles, your feet, down to the grounding cord. Now let it fountain out the top of your head, filling in the fifth layer, your communication space. Just kind of watch it fountain out up there. You can imagine it like a cartoon, pushing all that old energy out of that fifth, commanding it out with your mind. It's going down your right side, down behind you, down your left side, in front of you, filling in that layer of your aura as it goes all the way down past your chest and your pelvis, down into your legs, past your legs, and down into the grounding cord. Now imagine that energy coming down into your legs, filling in that layer, filling in your sixth layer of your aura, filling in that layer of your aura with cleaning it out, and let that energy clean out that layer of all sides down past your waist, down past your hips, down past your legs, and into the grounding cord. And then let that energy go up into that seventh layer of your aura. Let it spill out in all directions, all sides, and let it go out to the right, behind you, to the left, and in front of you, and let it fall down past all the parts of your body, down into the earth, and let it fill up that space. Go ahead and rub your hands together, bring them up above your head. Collect up a gold ball of energy from all the places that you went to today and slowly bring it down into your space. Filling up your aura and your energy body with brand new gold energy. Rub your hands together again, bring them up above your head. Collect up a big gold ball above your head. And slowly let that collect up the energy as you bring it down into your space for all the places, projects, and people you talked to over the last week. You're bringing all that energy back into your space so you can spend it as you want to now. Great. Let it go down into your space. We're going to create up a few barriers to your space right now. So we all come into contact with people that will want to influence us unconsciously to match what they want us to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up protection rows right outside of our aura in front of us. The rows can be any color you want, but its job is to whisk any energy thrown at you down its stem into the center of the planet. Also, its job is if you accidentally throw any energy outward, it can also capture that energy and whisk it down to the center of the planet. Okay. Sound groovy? All right. So make a protection rose out in front of you. See the stem go down outside of your grounding core, down to the center of the planet. Let's imagine what it looks like. And its job is to keep your energy field protected and separate from others. Go ahead and create another protection rose to your right. And then to your left. And then behind you. And then create a validation rose. It reminds other people that they can have their awesome energy and reminds you that you can have your awesome energy. So make a validation rose right outside of that protection rose. Give it a good grounding stem. And then outside of that rose, create a not my problem rose. Other people's problems are not yours to solve all the time. So create that rose out there. And let that remind people that they're empowered to get in touch with their own wisdom so that they can come up with answers that suit them for their problems. And to remind you of you and us, we can also jump back into our space, our own wisdom. All right. So, slowly come out of trance, open your eyes, and go ahead just to balance out our energy field. Just bend forward and touch the ground in front of you. Just get your body moving a little bit. All right. So, does anybody want to share anything that they got from that experience? And if not, I'll just call on somebody.
I will.
Sure.
3 times in the last couple months, when I'm in deep work like that, there's a moment where all of a sudden I feel energy, but it goes counterclockwise like this. It's happened 3 times in the last 2 months where at a certain point, and I meditate routinely and a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And one was light. Wait, what was it called? I can't think of it. But anyway, yeah. And that happened here for a moment, but it's weird because it spirals that way.
Did you do any kind of other energy practices, modalities?
I do everything.
Okay.
So yeah. I do have done. It's all integrated. So.
Gotcha. I needed to check it out. Okay.
So it means I hit a depth. I hit something when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, without looking at it clairvoyantly, it definitely sounds like a portal, right? And it's not a bad thing. But it does. Yeah, I'd have to look at it more carefully from that side of this kind of thing. So oftentimes, I just want to mention this. So you will hit energies in your chakras that may cause you to like lose your space. You'll go out of trance, like, oh, that didn't feel quite so good. What the heck? And then it's energy to work on and to heal. One method you can do to heal that is to create a rose outside of your energy body with the sole purpose of collecting up, like a magnet or a vacuum, that energy that you're trying to release. And then to send it on up and blow it up far from you, and then to revitalize that with the energy modality that we just did. So that's a little bit of a taste of both what I teach and how I practice and how I work. And I offer readings online over Zoom. I live in Santa Rosa. It's probably a little far to do some in-body stuff, but my stuff's very effective from a distance too. So if anybody's interested, my website is spiritforhealth.com, FOR.